Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Okay, we're going to get back into my story. So, just to recap, got divorced, got served papers in jail, had a little bit of cocaine on me. I got arrested for that as well as the domestic flight where he stayed out all night and all that. And so, um, missed my divorce hearings, and anyway, he got everything. He put a PFA on me with him and the two kids. My older son was old enough not to. And then when I had my company in 2007 to 10, me and my JC, I talked to a lot of people on it, and basically it was like an undercurrent, I said the number one of Fight Club is not to talk about Fight Club. So it was just like an undercurrent, and whoever wanted to participate could. But a lot of it was speaking to people in the media or the movies or stars or whatever, because they are the ones that bring it to the world. So I ended up homeless, and I basically was trying to tell everybody what I was going through every time I would get online somewhere. And then I realized nobody's doing anything because everybody's there. The CIA, the Secret Service, the FBI, every gang in the area, secret societies, people paid just to harass me and steal from me. They put me through every test there is. Then they tried to ghost me, pretend like I wasn't alive. I had that horrific incident in Oakland where they were going to try and put me on camera and kill me. And anyway, so I finally got permission to leave alive. And this is the only thing I want to bring up about that, because I said about the guy that was in Oakland that did that, and he was there with his kids and his family, and I forgave him, and I put my head on his son's head, and I was okay. But the one girl that believed in me when I saw the tree with M5 in it, and she jumped off the picnic and she was like, "Live out loud." She was the one girl that believed in me. And at the end of it, she brought this older woman to me. I don't know if it was her mother or just one of the ones that was executing one of the plans. And she brought her to me, and I was like, no. And she's like, pushing her towards me. And I'm like, no. And that is my biggest regret, because of course I forgave her. I forgave everyone. It's just what I do. I just didn't want to give her the satisfaction of knowing that I did. And that was all ego. And if she's watching out there anywhere, I'm so sorry. And of course I forgave her, and I forgive everyone. But anyway, so I was at the airport and couldn't get a ticket, couldn't call anybody, and got in the airport driver place that knew me, tried to take me somewhere to sleep. I was like, no, I just don't go with people anymore. And so I saw a hotel off the interstate. I said, drop me off there. And the synchronicities with everything is just so incredible. My instinct is just so like on spot. So I went into the hotel and I was like walking around, nosing around, and I saw these like gift bags for like a conference that was coming in, and I looked through them and I was like, whoa. And so I went and hacked the system to see if I was correct, and I was. And I wanted to get a room key, but there was no room slice there. There was no key there. There was just a monitor. I don't know, for whatever. But anyway, and I guess they called and told my sister that I did that. Like, I don't know what she was supposed to do. But anyway, I slept in the post office. that night. And the next morning, and this is where everything comes full circle, it's just crazy. The next morning, I'm walking and I find myself in the same apartment complex as I did remember when I was telling you that I was trying to make my husband jealous, and I was talking to this one guy in line and I was going to go meet him for lunch. And I went there and they said he worked down the street, and I went down the street and I was like, oh, no, 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 no. And anyway, I was right in front of that apartment complex. Like, it's just crazy how things happened. And I mean, I should have been dead. And then it comes full circle. It's insane. So I was like, should I go up there? Should I knock on the door? Should I ask him for help? Like, I didn't know what I should do. So there was a dumpster right there, and I started just going through the paperwork, and there was like a book bag of a little girl. And that was it. So anyway, I decided I was going to go up there and knock on the door, and I knocked on the door, and this woman and man, they were rolling up their air mattress, and the man told me come in, and the mother immediately called 911, and the little boy, as soon as they opened the door, was like, Johanna needs help, Johanna needs help. And I was like, who's Johanna? Because I just came for where girls are being shot up and prostituted out. And, I did see the stuff in the book bag that was in the dumpster. So I'm like, where's Johanna? Where is she? And he kept going like, over there. And I looked into the one room, and there was like cribs all screwed up on the wall, and I knew it wasn't there. So then he's like, no, there. So I pushed my way into the bathroom, and she was in there. And then I think she came out, and I patted her on the head, and I was just like, okay, you're good. You're good. Okay. And so I left. So the cops rolled up on me as I was walking down the street, and they asked about it, and I told them, and they were saying, oh, it was just a misunderstanding. So he said, but you do have a bench warrant in the other county, because for that, what I got picked up on in the divorce, I had unsupervised probation, but I was supposed to check in court, and I didn't. So they took me for that. So then I'm back in that county again, and I go in front of the judge, and I get out, and then I guess the woman was calling and saying that I was harassing them going to the little girl's school and stuff, which they already knew where I was. They knew I was in jail. They knew I was there. So anyway, because they went to an immigration attorney, and the immigration attorney filed charges against kidnapping and first-degree burglary. And if you're an illegal immigrant in the United States, at least this is what it was then, if you're an illegal immigrant in the United States and you've had a crime committed against you, you and your children get immediate citizenship and all the benefits. So anyway, the cop came up to me one day, and he's like, Mary Jo, put your hands behind your back. I'm like, why, what's up? And he was just like, just go with me, go through this process. I'm like, okay. So I did, and he brought me back to the county where that apartment complex was with the children, and dropped me off, and there was an investigator there, and she said, you're under arrest. Someone read me my rights, I guess. And I was like, for what? And they said, first degree burglary and kidnapping. And I started laughing. I was like, are you serious? Like I just didn't even think she was serious. Like I just couldn't even wrap my mind around that. And she's like, yeah, I'm very serious. And so they took me into jail, and I slept for probably the first 2 days because I hadn't been sleeping. I hadn't been doing drugs or anything. And anyway, I'm gonna stop there today. So here goes my extent in jail. Just when you couldn't think it would get any worse. I'm gonna go through jail with you tomorrow, the next day. Okay, love yous. Love and light.